Hey guys, Drifter here. Today you're going to get to see one of the better gameplays that I've got recently. You may recognize large parts of it from a recent in-depth episode. I used the footage there, but I wanted to post this game because it is just an exceptional game for me. I'm going to go almost 60 kills, more kills than the entire rest of my team combined. I'm going to get double-digit objective captures and defends, which is more than the rest of the team combined. Overall, excellent game for me, but I'm going to get off to a very, very rocky start. The title of this video is Objective Players versus Slayers. We're going to be doing some compare and contrast. I'm going to give you my opinion on what is needed and what is important for both of these, and which is better than the other when you're playing a game type like domination or capture the flag, and if you're playing in pubs or pro, because it does vary back and forth. I'm going to be using the Peacekeeper with bacon camo. I'm going to be using the MSMC a little bit and the M8A1 a little bit. If you'd like your own bacon camo code, what you need to do is follow me on Twitter, and this afternoon or maybe tomorrow afternoon if I'm lazy, I'm going to be doing some Twitter giveaways, but they're not like the follow me and you'll get it for free giveaway. You're going to have to do a challenge. Yesterday I had people send me pictures of their moms and draw yin-yangs on their face and send me pictures of the inside of their class while they were in class. I like to get a little bit creative and perhaps a bit trolly with it, but I hope you have some fun. Anyway, what we're going to talk about today is objective players versus slayers. And I have to say, obviously in games like Domination, Hardpoint, and CTF, these kills don't win the game. The objectives win the game. Other people set their personal goals differently. They don't play in a group. They don't play to win. They only want to boost up the kill-death ratio. But these game modes are not team deathmatch. If you want to prove that you can kill people better than somebody else, or that you can win gunfights or something like that, team deathmatch is the place to go. That being said, there is definitely a place for good slayers, good killers here in objective games. You often see me on the in-depth episodes a lot kill whore. You're going to see me do that a little bit in this video. That's because typically what I'm trying to do is show off how a weapon works. Like 90% of the episodes are weapon reviews. However, I do this with the understanding of the team that I play with. The team that I play with, depending on the class set, sometimes I'll play very objectively and I'll let somebody like J-Hub or Vorb do all the kill whoring, or just the other way around. If I really need to kill whore, they'll play the objectives. I don't have to worry about the objectives just so long as I kill the people around them. What I most often see when I go into lobbies and domination is I see somebody that has an extremely high kill-death ratio, something like 10, 11, well that's actually a little bit absurdly high. More often it's something like 3, 4, 4.2, 4.5 kill-death ratios, and I look and they have about 5, 6 times the amount of kills that I do, twice the amount of time played, but they only have a fraction of the objectives captured, just a tiny minutia of the captures, oftentimes a lot of defends because they're killing people, but no captures. They don't really get on those flags, and they always have very high score per minutes, but when they come up against my team, we roll them. We roll them very, very easily. Even if they kill us a good bit because they're good slayers, they still lose the game. A lot of times they'll rage quit out, especially if they get some kill streaks coming in that ruin their kill frenzy, but while that would indicate that they're a bad player and they're not playing objectively, that might not be the case, because in an objective game type you need two types of people. You need people that are going to get on the objectives, people that are going to run flak jacket, they're going to put their bodies on the flags, on the bombs, defuse, get that flag, capture the point. But then you also need good slayers. You need people to hold down a choke point. You need to put some fear into the enemy team and make them think twice before running across the middle of the map, make them check every corner. It slows down their movement, screws up their psychology, and well, your good slayers are just going to be killing people. Flat out and simple. The bad guys can't do anything when they're dead, and you can capture a lot of objectives when they're dead. However, a good slayer can't guarantee a win, because what you're seeing in this game is, especially large sections like this, I'm doing lots of slaying right now, but I'm not capturing a lot of objectives. I'm killing people like crazy, got kill streaks coming in, and I'm going to call in the Warthog and the VSAT if I'm not mistaken. But my teammates are all slayers. They're not going to bother to get on the objective because that's just not what they do. That's why you need some balance going on here. Typically, if you want to judge a slayer, if he is a good slayer or a bad slayer in an objective game mode, you want to look at the amount of defends that they have. If the slayer is very high, the person that's so-called kill whoring or not an objective player, if they have a lot of defends, if they just knock people off the objective all the times, if a certain percentage, I usually say like a quarter to maybe 20% of their kills are kills on the objective, or flag defends, or carrier kills, or bomb bomb carrier kills, that sort of thing. That means that they're playing the Slayer objective. They're killing the enemies that are messing with the objectives and giving you plenty of time to do it. That means they're actually a good teammate. if you look at these people and they have tons and tons of kills, but very few actual defends or flag drops or bomb carrier kills or anything like that, that means they're just camping. They're doing the old style kill whoring, very self-interested, not in it for the team, nothing like that. And I think that's a bad thing. These are the kind of players that you want to avoid. These are the bad kind of slayers. And each team needs to have a Slayer with clear objectives. The Slayer needs to understand where they need to go and what they need to do. And the objective guys need to understand this too. Unfortunately, objective guys, they have this other flaw. Like, I play the objective. I don't need to kill people. I can just run and throw my body on this flag and everything will be fine. And what they do, I do this on occasion. This is one of my biggest faults, is I'll run and throw myself on the B flag when I know it's not safe and I know it's not clear, and I'm going to sit there and I'm going to hope and I'm going to wait that maybe they won't notice me, maybe I can squeak by, maybe my teammates are really going to pick it up and everything will be fine. And when I die, my first instinct is to just blame the team. You didn't kill them enough, blah, blah, blah. Why am I the only person playing objective? Why am I the only guy on the flag? And it's really not their fault. It's really my fault for going on a flag that's not ready to be taken. So this is a problem with objective players. They can play too objectively and just kind of feed the enemy team kills. I've been playing some League of Legends recently, so I say things like that, and I'm like, we're feeding them kill streaks. We're just giving it to them on a silver platter, just like you feed your champion. See, here I'm getting another Warthog and getting the objective at the same time. Some people do both. That's a very versatile player. That's a very good thing. But you have to work with each other, and you have to be able to swap. The people that play objectively, they do have to be able to kill effectively, because you can't take an objective if you're just a toad, if you're just a bullfrog. I mean, there's a few people that come in and slam down a riot shield, but there's a very limited effective use for that. You're going to have to kill somebody to take the objective. And what's really awesome, you get a really good team, some people that can work together really well, are people that swap roles. And this is what I think usually makes the teams that I play with really well. Kind of like, I'll use J-Hub and Vorb example and myself. When I'm not using silly guns for in-depth, as you can see, I can kill people very easily. It's not a big problem. They kill people all the time. And if need be, if they're too close to the objective, if it's being taken, if it's being capped, we can just swap real quick, and I can clean up lanes, I can do choke points, they can get the objective, then we can swap back, and it kind of screws up the enemy, because they usually recognize you based on the guns that you're running and kind of treat you differently, and that's what you want to do. Now the question is, which of these two players is more important? Is the objective player more important, or is the Slayer more important? And I'm doing this in objective games, of course. In Team Deathmatch, the Slayer is more important, because that's all there is. And the answer doesn't necessarily come down to one being better than the other. It comes down to the game mode that you're playing, or the level cap that you're playing at. If you're playing pub matches like this, where you have a lot of randoms on the other team, it might not be a full party, everybody's using relatively silly stuff, or even if you're playing good teams in something like league play and it's pretty hardcore, I'm going to say the objective players are more important. I would rather have a team of terrible players that can't kill anything, but do play objectively and do work together as a team, as I would opposed to a whole bunch of Slayers that just shoot and don't touch the objective, because it's impossible to win like that. You don't often win with a team of bad players that play objectively, but they can put their bodies on the flags, they can choke, they can squeeze, and they can try, and sometimes they'll pull off a victory, but on the other side, the people that never bother to touch the objectives aren't going to win. That's in public matches. If you're playing MLG, if you're playing a very advanced league play or against a sufficiently advanced team, that doesn't matter so much. You can play objectively all you want and they'll just kill you instantly. The Slayers are actually the people that seem to run the game. I was watching the MLG tournament at MLG Dallas, and of course you had people playing objectively. You had most people doing both and swapping up, like all the kind of good advice I was saying. But what you found to be the most important, the players that really changed the game, were the ones that would go on big rolls and big tears and mow over the enemy team and get a bunch of kill streaks and push them back into their spawn and screw up their streaks and kind of jam them up. That would totally mess up the other team, give all these callouts, and that would allow the rest of the team to get on the objective and be cannon fodder when they couldn't compete, when they couldn't aim as good as Optic Scumpy or anybody from the FaZe clan, or actually Farico Gaming. They were the ones that won. So if you're playing MLG, it's more important to have awesome, excellent Slayers than it is objective players, because that's what you're going up against. You're going up against people that are very, very good at killing you, and no matter how good you are about putting your body on the objective and picking up flags and stuff, it's not going to make any bit of difference if you're just always dead. The big problem with this is that when you're playing alone, what are you going to do? I mean, I know I play with parties. I prefer to play with groups of people. Not everybody has this luxury. There are many gamers, many of you may be included, that play by yourself. And when I play by myself, I always make the assumption, kind of like in this game here, it turns out to be the correct assumption, that nobody is going to bother with the objective besides me. I like winning the game. I like winning the objective. I don't really care about boosting up my, score per minute or kill death ratio or whatever. Interestingly enough, playing the objective does really boost up the score per minute. But I know that the randoms on this team, that a lot of them are kind of locked into this KD ratio is the most important thing in the world, and they're just not going to go for those objectives. So when you play by yourself, you just better assume that nobody's going to go for the objectives, and you need to be going for them. You need to PTFO or GTFO. That's my best advice for you. See that? I'm 56, 10, and 15. That's 56 kills, 10 captures. 10 captures is a lot for domination, and 15 defends. That's slaying and objectifying, but not objectifying women, because we don't do that on this channel. Got a little bit of extra time here at the end, kind of ran out of the commentary. But I hope that you learned something, and I hope that you do take what minutiae of advice that you can pull from this episode and put it to work. And I hope to see you playing some objective, man. When I get online, I don't really like playing Slayers. I like playing some people that are going to go for flags that are going to make me work for these wins. Unfortunately, my team didn't PTFO here, and I lost. Drifter out.